back to Talkin Joes. We talk everything Joes baseball and a little bit more. Gavin Stark, joined by my favorite co-host Eli Halverson. Eli, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Having a nice break. It's been nice. Get a few days off. Went out with the fellows on Saturday night. Had a good time. Didn't have a game the next day to worry about. Got the All-Star game tomorrow and then back at it. One more series and it's official. I think we've clinched the playoffs. I think officially. That's what it says on the website.
Officially,
So
officially, the
you're
Joes
in.
have clinched the playoffs.
So we'll
So,
have one or two more home games to go and cover. And but other than that, vibes are high and ready to make a push into the last few games of the year.
yep, and the Joes are right in that spot where we said that they can be in since the start of this really journey. Uh, Obviously, it hasn't been their best stuff throughout the entire season. This is a team that we both look at and think could dominate this league, and it just never really happened, the domination. But they're in a spot to still win this entire league like they do normally. I mean, this is a winning program, and this is a team that can continue winning ways for Hamilton. I truly believe that when I say that.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about it all year. Like this is probably the most talented team in the league. I don't know if anyone would argue that. And I'm sure we'll get into this in a second with the number of All Stars. I mean, Xenia may have first place in the league, but you look at Hamilton, you look at the All Star list for the South Division. 13 All Stars is just 8 for the Scouts. So I think that alone is pretty telling. And I mean, the playoff series, I believe, are only best 2 out of 3. So it doesn't really matter. We've done the regular season. It's all going to come down to a couple games to decide the champion of the league.
Absolutely. So we missed last week's episode due to some technical difficulties, and then we couldn't really get the episode running. It was a whole ordeal, and then we had the busy week with all the games, so we missed the podcast week. So basically, today we're just going to try to run as much information down everybody's throats as we can in the 40-minute time limit that we have because of Zoom. By the way, if you're ever trying to start a podcast, don't use Zoom. It's not user friendly. So that's all. That's all.
It
That's
is
my
definitely not.
information for
We've
you.
learned that the hard way. We've learned that the hard way.
So talk about where the Joes are standing right now within the league. We said, clinched their playoff spot. Not the number one team in the league, but the team above them right now, the Xenia Scouts. Only really 4 games ahead of them with a 24-15 record, and the Joes have that 20-18 record standing right now. But a huge series this weekend. Joes aren't going to have a chance to take that 1 seed, but I mean, it still feels like a huge series because you're going to play them right after that again for another 3 game series as well, and that one means a lot. So I feel like it's honestly interesting. It's one of those things where you don't really see in baseball too often, especially. I think it really affects the pitching. Like, what are you gonna do with a quick turnaround playing the same team over again? Who do you pitch in these 3 games that you have to play? Like, they're mandatory games to play. It's not like you can just be like, yeah, we're just gonna skip this series and then move on to the playoffs since we have to play each other. Honestly, I bet both teams wish they could do that at this point, but
Right.
both teams are going to have to
Yeah,
show some stuff on this weekend.
it's weird. Like I almost think especially on Saturday, Sunday, you almost want to throw the guys that just aren't or definitely have no shot of throwing in the playoff series because
Right.
the games they literally have no meaning, like zero meaning whatsoever, and it's just such a weird spot to be in. You almost think of it as like it's like the only comparison I can really think of is like Week 18 in the NFL when when you've already clinched like the 1 seed, like you saw the Chiefs completely lay down against the Broncos and bench everyone. Like it's almost what you have to do. It's just going to be an interesting thing to see. I'm really intrigued to see what Aaron Burrell does in that
Yeah.
series because I
Now,
highly doubt we'll see any of these All Star guys throw, maybe even in the entire series.
you say that throw our guys that aren't gonna maybe throw or have any chance in the playoffs, but we're running out of arms on this Joe's team.
Right, right.
Uh, Quick little like say something to say real quick to all you fans. I mean, these guys are kind of this is the back end of summer baseball, and the way summer baseball works is these guys are getting shut down by their colleges. Michael Belo is officially shut down from Wright State, where he just recently committed to, and that's your ace. He's done. That Wright State doesn't want him to throw any more innings. It makes sense, and that's just how summer baseball really works. Is more than likely your best players are probably going to get shut down, especially those pitchers, because those colleges don't want you throwing too many innings and then end up hurting your arm and having further damage to that. It's all of a sudden their issue. So Wright State's seen enough from Michael Belo, the Hamilton ace, shut down. Then you had earlier in the season, Carson Brower, the guy who looked phenomenal. He got shut down at the beginning of July. So it's things like this. You're kind of running out of arms at this point. Like, how many arms do you have to really show? I don't know. It's just kind of a confusing situation with a bullpen that's all of a sudden lacking.
Yeah, yeah, you're almost fine.
But anyways, these arms, starting to lack Eli. So kind of interesting to see what uh, pitching coach Charlie Smith and head coach Aaron Brew really throw at Xenia this weekend in a really interesting situation like this, and also vice versa, what Xenia does.
Yeah, and I mean, I wonder if Xenia's having the same problem. Obviously, we don't have insider information to that, but I wonder if Xenia's some of their better pitchers are done too. You look at Oliver Adams; he's supposed to start the All Star game. I wonder if he's done for the year. I wonder if some of their other better guys. You got Danny Slask. I wonder if he's still pitching. Like, who is going to actually play in these games? And then you have to wonder because you think, okay, if worse pitchers are going to pitch in this game, if you're not going to throw your best arms, then maybe these games are going to be more high scoring. You're not going to sit your best hitters. It's not like Jackson Wang or Jackson Christopher. Those guys are going to sit. So then it's like, well, we might go through even more arms if more runs are going to be scored. It's just going to be a weird situation that, like you said, you don't really see in modern baseball, at least not in the major league or college level. Like this is a totally unique situation. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out this weekend, and we'll get two of them at Foundation Field. But regardless, it's going to be. I mean, I'm excited to see how this plays out. It might be really bad baseball, but I'm excited to see how it plays out.
It's unfortunate that they're not playing for like a one seed either.
Right, right.
Like if it was a situation where I think last season Lions and Vikings, they played week 18, I believe, on a
Yep,
primetime game,
yep.
and the winner was the one seed and the loser was the five. Like, that's huge. Big implications, either though both teams are making the playoffs. It's not like that in this situation. It's not a situation where if the Joes get a sweep, then all of a sudden they have two games at Foundation and they're the one seed in the South. It's just sadly not that case. So that's really what makes it kind of maybe some interesting decisions being made within this weekend. That kind of sucks because it could be a really fun series. Looking if it was like that situation where the Joes needed to win three even just to get that one seed.
Right, right. It'll be
But
interesting
you
to see
look
it play out.
right, and then you look at some arms, um, some guys that maybe need to even step up. I think would be the right word for this situation going into the playoffs with Belo stepping out, and then a couple other bigger names in the pitching staff. But I look at the name Mark Yozo. I mean, that's just the first name that comes to my mind. I think he's your best starting arm left within this team. I really do. And it's crazy to say that. I feel like because about a month ago we didn't even think of him as really a pitcher.
Yeah, yeah,
So you knew
yeah.
you knew he could
It's
pitch,
it's
but
yeah. It's been wild seeing that whole situation play out. I mean, but that's kind of what happens when you're in this situation with um like all these guys leaving their colleges are shutting them down. I would think it's going to be for the 3 game series. If we have to set the 3 game series starting rotation, I would imagine it would be Iozo, Dale Ellis, Dean Brown would be my guess for the top three for that series.
now the issue, Eli, is we haven't seen Dean Brown in over a week.
That's true.
We
Is
don't know
Dean
if
Brown done? Is that
we
confirmed?
it's no confirmation, no word on that on my end. I mean, hopefully we get some Dean Brown action, but I mean, another guy who's at Central Michigan, that's the
Man.
D1 level, you can easily see him getting shut down. So, not
Yeah, I
sure on
mean,
that
if
situation.
oh man,
You want me to throw you a hot take here? I don't even know if you want to call it hot after what we saw this
let's
weekend.
hear it.
Brendan Mullen, starting pitcher.
feel like that's your guy. I feel like Brandon Mullen's kind of been your guy this year.
I love the submarine arm. I'm a big fan. I do, but I think he could start. I really do because he went 5 innings on I believe Saturday, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He went five. So
And they were five really nice innings too.
mhm.
Really quality innings. I think it was best outing of the year.
If Brandon Mullen can go the first 5 innings in a ball game, the Joes are all of a sudden in a really good situation, especially if someone like Justin Hovel can step in and he's looked really good as of recent, or even then Justin Hovel can take you 3 innings and then Matty Helms shuts the door. Like that's the ideal situation. Obviously, you can't have that happen all 3 nights though. But I mean, we're really
Right.
running out of arms, and I never thought this situation would happen going into the season when you had 20 different arms, and it was like, are these guys even going to get innings? Kind of was where my mind was.
Yep.
But
Yeah, and you
they're
have to
going to get.
almost wonder. You look at the pitching roster at the beginning of the year. I think we had a bigger bullpen than some teams had total rosters. And it makes me wonder what other teams' situations like. What is it looking like in other teams that don't have this many arms? Because you're scrolling down the list. I mean, Horline, Brennan Mullen, I think has looked really good recently. Dylan Kaiser is going to have to be a lot more consistent in his outings. Jordan Taylor is someone that had really good numbers at the beginning of the year, but has really been roughed up his last few starts. That's someone that's going to have to pitch some really meaningful innings in the playoffs. It's just, I don't want to say it's looking bleak, but it's certainly kind of a dire situation for a team that had, like you said, I mean, legitimately 20 arms to start the year on the roster. And there are going to be guys pitching in the playoffs that probably will have like less than 5 or 6 innings on the season, but they're probably going to have to pitch in the playoffs. And if not the playoffs, definitely this weekend too.
Shoot. Another thing is if the Joes are to pick up more arms within this week, they have to throw this weekend in the Xenia game. They have to at least show 1 inning during the regular season. That is a rule. So it's not like you can just pick up a guy and throw him in the playoff rotation. And, so he's got to play this weekend if you're going to pick up an arm. So decisions have to be made within this week. I'm not sure what's going on there. We don't have that much insider information, unfortunately, but. I mean, we talk about another starter who's been good all season, Dale Ellis, but then we saw him the other night and he came back
Yep.
first outing back, so I'll give it like you got to think that way as well with it, but he didn't look great at all. Like
No.
it definitely was probably his worst outing, and that's no shot to Dale Ellis at all. I think he's super talented and a really good starting pitcher for this ball club, but you're gonna have to see really good stuff from him in the playoffs as well because he's obviously gonna get a start.
Yeah, that's someone he's lucky that game got called early and canceled because that would have been a rough showing for his ERA. I mean, I believe he gave up 6 earned runs in the first inning, I think was what it was. Or I don't know if they were all earned, but he gave up 6 runs in the first inning, Flag City, and then the rest of the
Right.
game got called. And I'll tell you what, that is somewhat of a lucky break for Dale Ellis because his ERA right now still sitting at a pretty clean 2.18, but definitely did not look super clean last.
All right, so let's talk about that rain out too, Eli. I mean, you brought up how Dale Ellis is kind of lucky that his stats weren't thrown in because of that rain out. So, Flag City series, they ended up playing a doubleheader after a rain out in Flag City the day before. Doubleheader and Foundation. Joe's finished the first game of the doubleheader, game two of the series. And then we knew the game three there was a storm coming. The storm came and what was that the third inning, I believe, Eli? Bottom of the
Yes,
second.
around there,
And
yeah.
anyways, Dale Ellis wasn't throwing great. It just wasn't his day, which it's not always going to be your day. And that was a good day to not be your day because
Yeah.
that rain out definitely helped him. Definitely saved his stats, but that have been brilliant all season. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can just scratch that one out of the book. Act like we didn't see it almost. I
Yeah.
feel like that's probably best for that situation there. I think
Yeah, definitely. definitely happy for Dale that that one got rained out because that was tough. Definitely his worst outing of the year. Um, but in general, I almost think the cancellation probably helped Hamilton more than it helped Flag City. Flag City, you probably wanted to play that game. You're sitting at 18 and 19. You have a 6-1 lead. You're battling for that second place in the North Division. So yeah, definitely pretty unlucky if you're a Flag City Sluggers fan, but pretty nice for if you're Dale Ellis to get that scratched off the book, and you're still sitting with an ERA around 2, but somehow not an All Star, which I still think is an absolutely unbelievable snub. But
Yeah.
that's all right. We still got 13 of them, so it's okay.
We're sitting here with 13 All-Stars and we're still talking about snubs on our team.
We're
That's how
still
talented this team is.
Yeah, and that's a legit snub. I mean,
Yeah,
2.18 ERA, and he's not an All Star. Like that's
right.
unbelievable.
Mhm. I totally agree with you. All right. Usually we do a run through of like the series and everything that went on throughout the week, but since we lost last episode, we're not going to really do all of that because that'd be kind of we'd get boring. We'd be talking about six series damn near. So let's just we're going to scratch that. And if you would like to read any of those games, look back at those. Check out HamiltonJoes.com and you can read some of Eli's stories on those games. Basically, give you a brief rundown of those ball games. But we'll move on. All Star game, Eli, is
Yep.
tomorrow as we film on a Monday. All Star game is tomorrow. Game starts at 7, but I think the prospect game starts at like 2, if
Yeah,
I'm not
something like
mistaken. But Eli, you'll be on call at that game.
that.
I think what will you be doing? You can give a rundown of what you'll be doing.
Yeah, so I'll basically be on. If you want to see what I'm doing, you can follow the GLSCL on Twitter. I'll basically just be tweeting out updates almost by the at bat. Like I'm gonna try and mention as many of the players as possible, try and get their names out there, try and get their families, their friends looking at the account, seeing what they're doing. But yeah, I'm excited. We'll be writing the recap after too. So if you want to see all that, just go to glcl.com. Follow them on Twitter. We'll get all the updates there throughout the game. But I'm really excited. Obviously, I'll have to be from somewhat of an unbiased observer from what I'm doing for the game. But personally, I am pretty invested in how the Joes are doing. I'm just interested to see how they stack up against some of the best competition. How does Jackson Wang, Miguel Correa, Jackson Chris, how do those guys hit against some of the best pitching in the league? I wish we could see how Michael Bela would look against the best hitters in the league, although I'm sure he would be dominant as he always is. I'm excited to see and maybe Dean Brown. Do we think we'll see maybe Dean Brown pitches tomorrow? I guess we'll find out.
Would say
Um,
probably not.
I
To be
would I would say probably not would be my guess as well, but no, I'm just excited. I mean, when you get an opportunity to see some of the best in action, it'll be fun. It'll be exciting, and yeah, if you want to check out my work after, you can head to GLCL. I'll get the recap up there tomorrow night after the game. But it should be a good time and watch the best play baseball.
and listen to the broadcast that's on Meridix, like all of the Joe's games, and you can listen to our very own Stone and Brennan Bucher as well. They'll both be on the calls for those prospect games and All Star game itself. So lots of Joes, not just players in action tomorrow. Big day for the Joes. Um, let's look at some of these averages on the team. Averages have changed a lot throughout the season. For so long, though, there was a guy at the top, and his name was Jackson Wang. And now we sit here, and Jackson Christ has climbed to the top in batting average with 343 batting average. Unbelievable last 2 weeks from this guy. I mean,
Mm.
crazy. He's so good. He really is. Him and Jackson Wang both. They're just unbelievable hitters.
Yep. I mean, Chris, Player of the Week,
Right.
Player of the Week, I believe.
He's won that twice
GLSCL.
now.
Yeah, twice, and so well deserved. I mean, I think that is the first home run I've seen this year at Foundation Field by a Joe's hitter. We've seen a couple away teams, opponents hitters hit homers out. Chris's bomb, that was the first one I've seen in person. Absolute nuke, such a bomb, such a
Yeah.
great hitter. And yeah, I mean, so we could have this debate. Who's the best hitter on the Joes? Which Jackson is the better hitter, do we think? Right now, if you had to take one of them, and they're both great, both starters in the All-Star game.
Consistency wise throughout the season, I mean, Wang hasn't gone on a dry spell once. That's what blows my mind. He has just been good all season, and we've said it so many times. throughout the season. It's like, oh, when's Wang gonna slow down? And then I think it came July, at the beginning of July, I was told myself, I was like, he's not. He's just that good of a hitter. He's not slowing down. So he stayed in the mid 300s all season. I mean, he sat at 348 for a while. He's at 338 now. But Chris is just, he's such a streaky hitter. And right now he's on a hot streak at the right time, that's for sure.
Very much so, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you look at Wang, I mean, he has 45 hits. Chris does 34. And Chris did sit out a few games with that injury in like the second week of the season. But Wang has 11 doubles, two homers, 28 RBIs. I would take Jackson Wang as the better hitter, but they're both so good. I think they're both top two in the league.
Yeah.
So awesome to have them both on your team. It really
I
is.
I would agree. I think I would lean Wang. I think when you look, Chris also has 6 more strikeouts and about 34 less at bats. So I think also from that standpoint, I think I would take Wang. But I mean, how nice is it to have those two guys at the top of your lineup? I mean, that's just incredible. Then, not to mention, you had in Brett Denby, Christopher Roja Correa, obviously leads the league in ribbies. Just, I mean, I really think the Joes could do it, man. I really think so. I mean, I'm pretty confident in what the lineup's going to bring, but at the end of the day, it's just, can we get outs? Can we get outs when it
Mhm.
matters most? And we'll probably preview. I would imagine we'll probably get an episode out previewing the playoff series before we play Xenia.
But yeah, we'll get an episode out whether we got to film that on a Sunday night or whatever. We'll get it out.
Okay, yeah,
But yeah,
that's what I figured. But regardless, it's I think looking ahead, I think the key to the series is just gonna be, can we get outs, because this lineup's pretty lethal, and you got two of the better hitters in the league. And I think overall, probably one of the best lineups in the league. So really excited, and tomorrow I think is just a great opportunity to just showcase all of that talent for everyone to see.
talk about these two guys, uh, the top two guys in the batting average on the team. One thing about those two is they're both JUCO guys. That's
Mm-hmm.
like the JUCO boys are showing out this summer. Those
Yeah.
two are they've been so good all season, and these guys are both representing junior colleges. So like the talent's there, it's everywhere in baseball, and that's just proof right there. Because you've got so many talented players on this Joe's team. I mean, guys like Brett Denby, he played 2 years at Georgia Tech. Now he's at Wright State. Uh, I mean, Christopher Roja, Miami, D1. Correa, Central Michigan. Nowak, Northern Kentucky. Like the list goes on and on. These guys are D1 talents, and so are the top two guys in the batting average on this team, Chris and Wang. There's a D1 talents as well. Doesn't matter where you're playing college baseball, really. The numbers don't lie. That's kind of where I stand on. I've always said that about baseball. Numbers aren't going to lie to you. That's one thing, and it's true.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I feel like baseball, even more than any other sport, I feel like is a lot harder to kind of project talent. Like I feel like it's unlike like when you see football and basketball, I do feel like in general, while there are some outliers, the most athletic guys, the most freakishly kind of athletic, height, weight, speed kind of guys tend to be the best. But I think baseball, there's a certain aspect that's different than that, especially in hitting. Like not saying anything about Chris and Wang's athleticism, but they just hit the baseball. And there's no kind of like measurable way to do that. It's just they hit the baseball. They have good
Yeah.
hand-eye coordination, strength. They hit the baseball, and there's baseball. I think is. I'm not the biggest baseball guy. I'm more of a football especially kind of person. But that's kind of what I really love and appreciate about baseball is sometimes the guys that just work the hardest and just have one skill of hitting the baseball, they're the most successful. And I think you're seeing that this year. And you talk about JUCO. That's another trend that I've kind of noticed is I think JUCO is kind of the second level of D1. Like D2 and D3, I think is a lower level, at least from what I've seen from the players than JUCO. I feel like it's D1, JUCO guys are kind of right underneath that, feeding into D1, and then D2, D3 are kind of just sub levels beneath that. But definitely really interesting to see your two best hitters on the team and maybe even in the league are JUCO guys that I think eventually will probably get into the higher level of baseball. I would imagine.
Senior series coming up, starting on Friday. That's going to be interesting to see what the Joes do and what Xenia does too. Really interesting to see there. Um, but then we jump right back and play Xenia right again, and hopefully he can win that game series. And I think they can. I really think that this team is better than Xenia. I truly
I
do. I'm not saying that in a bias. I am biased a little bit, but I truly do think they are. I've seen them play Xenia this season once, and it wasn't that I wasn't impressed by Xenia. I just kind of looked at it and was like, I think this Joe's team's better. I really do, from the talent level and to the way they're coached as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. I think the record kind of lies. You have a kind of a short season, small sample size in terms of how many games are played. I
And it's
think
so quick. It's so
it's so
quick.
quick. All it takes is a couple bad weeks, which the Joes have definitely had. Couple bad weeks, and then you're just going to be in second place. And I think this weekend. I mean, it's kind of I don't want to say it's a throwaway series, but kind of is what it is. Maybe it's just a little bit of a preview. And I think next weekend, I think the Joes absolutely. I think if there was betting odds on this series, I dare to say I think the Joes might be favored. If there was like Vegas betting odds on this series, I think I would dare to say the Joes would be favored just because of I think the raw talent advantage
Yeah, I
on this.
agree. 100%. And also just being the reigning champs as well. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
percent.
a organization that just knows how to win, and that's I think what you're going to see again this season. And going into the playoffs, you're going to see an organization that knows how to win, that's been there before, and I'm excited, man. I'm fired up for the playoffs. I really am.
Me too.
Happy that this team has clinched the spot that stress is over with now. Don't have to worry about getting in the playoffs. Now we can sit here and talk about this team winning the championship again.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully, bring home another title. Bring home another title. I believe it would be 4 out of 5, right? 4 out of 5 years with a title, and it would be
Yeah,
repeat back to back.
very
That would be pretty incredible.
yeah, pretty sweet stuff coming on in Hamilton. A lot of exciting baseball coming your way in the near future. Pretty big series this weekend against Xenia that will feed into the early weeks of next week. I mean, next week we're going to be in the playoffs. So it's crazy. It's
Yep.
flown by. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I'm fired up. Pitching is the worry right now, and it's kind of been the worry all season. The bats are here, and you get some good innings from some guys in the playoffs, and all of a sudden you're going to be seeing this team in the championship game with a big games on the line. So
Yeah, might be a few slugfests there in the playoffs, but I'll tell you what, I think the Joes are comfortable in slugfest. I think we've been there before. We've got the lineup to do it. We've got the star power, the firepower to do it, and I think if it comes to that, which it very well might, I think we'll be ready and ready to score a lot of runs because that might be what it takes at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, every team has the same problem we do. So, and I think I trust our lineup more than I trust others to outscore the opponent.
it's a super close knit team as well. So these guys want to win for each other. They really do. Uh, I've been around them enough to see that, and yeah. So before we head out, All-Star game tomorrow in Mason, Ohio at Presco Park. Food is free, so go check it out.
Take
But
advantage.
let's get a prediction on who the pitchers will be for the playoff series against Xenia. I'll give mine first. You can give yours right
Okay.
after. I'm gonna go Eozo, uh, Ellis, and I'm in a pickle here
It gets
between
tough after that. It
I'm
gets
in a
tough.
pickle here between Taylor and Mullen, really, because I'm gonna say Dean Brown's not pitching.
Yeah, I feel like if Dean Brown was going to be pitching in the playoffs, we wouldn't have seen a week break.
Yeah.
They're struggling with arms right now, and if they're struggling with arms and not pitching, like that doesn't make any sense.
So
They would be pitching. Down.
I'm gonna go Mullen in one of those games. Yeah.
I'll I'll take the first two. I think it's got to be Iozo, got to be Ellis. I'm not even saying I would do this. I think if I was managing, I might go Mullen, but I think the coaching staff will put Jordan Taylor out there. He's got 7 starts on the year, and I think ultimately despite kind of the rough starts that it's been recently, I think they'll throw him back out there for game 3. Maybe it's a situation where Taylor doesn't pitch the final game. Maybe Taylor goes out game 2. They save Ellis for game 3, something like that. But
Yeah,
I think the three guys in some order will be Iozo, Ellis, and Taylor. But I do think we'll see a lot of Brendan Mullen. We're gonna have to. We'll see a lot of all these guys probably in 3 games.
100%. The issue with Iozo is he's been so good at first base. Like,
Yeah.
gosh, you don't want him to go away from first base, but you need him on the mound at the same time. It's a tough situation. It really is.
Maybe we'll finally see them do what we've been asking them to do all year. Start Iozo, throw him 4 or 5 innings, put him at first base the rest of the game, have him
I
hit. Maybe
I'd
we'll do
love it. I would
it's
be
fine with me.
ecstatic. You might see me freaking make a tweet and be like, "They did it finally!" Like I'm gonna tweet something
Finally.
like that.
Been
Let's
asking
go.
for it all year. Come on,
Yeah.
Aaron.
So we'll see.
Make the right
Things are
call.
getting interesting in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League, and it's just what we want late in the season. Some good late July baseball coming your way here soon. All-Star game tomorrow. Any final things to say before we end it, Eli?
No, just check out the Twitter tomorrow. See all the tweets. See all the guys. Tomorrow's kind of more of a celebration of the league and the stars, is the way I would put it. So
Yeah.
have a good time. Hopefully, see some good baseball, and then on to the final push of the year.
And then it's business.
Yep. Yep.
So good baseball coming your way in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate for a huge episode, probably the biggest one of the year as we head into the playoffs. So we say so long for now, but we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to Talkin Joes.